Hello everyone, I am Cubist and this is the HC Talks Season 2 Episode 1. We are with Vrishab, who is the current upcoming star for the Indian Cuban. So hello Vrishab, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Okay, so basically I guess most of you have already seen HC Talks episode 1 to 4 for season 1, and that was completely on Hindi, completely the Hindi podcast. But HC Talk season 2 is bringing English podcast so that it's easily available for everyone who knows English, as well as people who are our guests can also communicate easily. So we will be having a short interview sort of. I will be asking a couple of questions which Rishabh Bhaiya will be answering. Okay, so let's start. So the first question that everybody would be thinking of is, how did you start cubing?
Okay, so actually, I was in school one day, and one of my friends he had a cube, so he brought it to school. He could solve like one or two sides of the cube, and I was thinking that it was pretty cool. So I went back home and I tried to do it myself. But then I realized that if I wanted to get good at it, I had to like solve all six sides. So I got a cube and I looked up a tutorial, and yeah, that's how I started.
So yeah, so basically I had interview with four different people already. So I had this experience of people getting into caving from school. So that's cool enough that like I have seen many people who can solve one or two sides, but the challenge is to solve all six sides. As I have seen in my coaching as well. Now many students who are just beginners, they say, "Sir, I can solve one side, but I cannot solve more than that." So that is what cubing is basically the part of cubing which is more interesting and most frustrating is learning your first cube. After that, I feel that after you've learned the basic 3 by 3 cube, you can more or less solve the lower ones easily. 2 into 2 is just 3 into 3 steps with like lesser steps for 3 into 3. And the bigger cubes also, if you get the habit of like once you get 4 into 4, once you learn it, just how to pair up edges and how to solve centers, I guess more or less if you practice a little bit and you can solve the bigger ones. Because recently I got 7 into 7. I didn't had any idea, but I more or less tried it and it was a bit of frustrating because so many pieces and so much new things, but yeah, it was easy for me to solve at the first go without any past experience. So how long have you been cubing?
So I started in February 2020, so that'll be 2 years and 2 months. Sorry, two
Okay,
years and 3 months.
yeah, so basically it's like you started 1 year before me, and then also so many, like you're so fast. So yeah, I guess your
The
national
thing
rank.
is, I
Yeah, you were saying something.
sorry. The thing is, like I've done only 3 by 3 mainly as my main focus, but most other people they'll branch out, they'll do a bunch of events, get good at them. But I'm good at 3 by 3 and really bad at most other events.
Yeah, and I'm bad at 3 into 3 and mostly focusing on big cubes.
And you're awesome at big cubes.
No, actually not. So I guess your national rank 15, correct?
I think so, 14 or 15.
Yeah. So I guess you have attended some or less three competitions till now.
Yeah, yeah.
So for the viewers, I will tell that till now, Vrishab Bhaiya has attended three official WCA competitions. From April, I guess he started attending it. And till now, he has won two competitions. He even won his first competition. I guess SSN Cube Open was your first competition. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he won his first cube competition, 3 into 3 rank 1 in his competition, and he has won 3 CSUL, Cube Rally Speed King Unlocked till now. 1 or 2 days ago, like when I was approaching him for the HC toss, we had a discussion that like now you have won 2 CSUL, but the final is coming, so it will be fun if you win the third one also. And he proved me right that he won the third one also. So he has a good stats for winning competitions as well, and I'm pretty sure like he will surely get more and more of better solves and better averages, and I hope that he will get an NR soon. That is what I see in his performance. Like we have a group, like we had a pro cubers meet, if people remember it, in the month of October. So in that group also Vrishab Bhaiya is there and many new cubers are there. So they are like literally amazing in their jobs. Vrishab Bhaiya at 3 into 3 is like amazing. Even Kunal Bhaiya, praises Vrishab Bhaiya, and I guess you are a student of Kunal Bhaiya, like coaching the
Yeah,
best part.
yeah, on his coaching plan.
So that is what Kivlil coaching works. Like Vishabh Bhaiya also took it. I took it for 5 into 5. So it has a good improvement plan and it really helps you. So like this is a question which most of the beginners ask. How a beginner can get into cubing?
Okay, so first of all, if there's any beginner watching this, or if you have any friends who are a beginner, for anyone who's watching this, tell them to solve the cube on any cross color when they start out, because as you get faster and faster, it'll be more in your muscle memory, and it's harder to switch to becoming color neutral. So try to solve the cube on all cross colors as soon as you start, which is one. And two, like from the start, if you're interested in becoming competitive, just time your solves, try to get better. And if you can analyze your own solves, see what you're doing wrong. Are you making any mistakes in your turning? Could you be improving something else? So just look at your solves, analyze it, um, do a retrospective, and think what you can do to improve always, and that will keep you cubing and getting faster.
So one point that he mentioned is the like there are so many points that he mentioned, but one point which I will say is a very important point, that is being color neutral from the starting. Because I regret not being color neutral from the starting, because like see, to be honest, there are many only white cross solvers around the world and they are very good at it. But being color neutral always help you in different scrambles, because if you are color neutral, then you can like you have so many options. You have six sites where you can start your solve, and whichever is the best site that you think, you can start from it and get a better time. And only white cross can be a bit of like not very helpful for you every time, because white crosses may not be the only good option. There can be yellow. Like I will say in the starting, even the cubers who have been practicing so much only on the white, at least try to get into dual color neutral. Then you can start with the rest of like first only white is not a good option. White and yellow both should be there. Like I have been practicing color neutrality, but I mess up at it, so I left 3 into 3 and doing big queues. But yeah, that is a major thing that I will say he mentioned, that being color neutral is always helpful. And from the starting, I will say from the starting, if your growth, like if at the young age of cubing, like young age in the sense young career, at the starting initial days of cubing, if you get good habits, I will say color neutrality is a good habit to get. And if you get it and you can practice it normally and you are practicing regularly, then you will develop it and you can like it can be very helpful for you. So I will ask that what do you think when you started like this back in February 2020, when I guess COVID was not too much of there, like from the March it started. So before COVID or post COVID, what is the huge difference that you saw, like which was better?
I have to say, probably post-COVID, because people are like so much more willing to have comps, to go to comps, because like since there was a break for 2 years, people are desperate to get to comps, so they're holding a lot of comps, like, and it's getting back. It's not back in full swing, but I think once it gets there, people will be going to comps more. And yeah, I mean, especially for me, because I haven't experienced the pre-COVID queuing scene that much. I think that, yeah, I enjoy this a lot.
Okay. So yeah, basically started in February. So when I started, I was in the COVID era. Like I am called a COVID cuber, what people call the cubers who started in COVID. So he started in February, and I feel that that time and after 1 month COVID came, so that was not a huge experience for pre-COVID thing. But I have heard like see, in the month of June till now, five official competitions are already scheduled, and sixth one is going to be scheduled. So six competitions in the span of 3 weeks is like huge compared to what it was during the COVID period and afterwards. Like the first competition was Welcome Thrissur 2021, and after that, I guess there was not a comp until March or something like that. So that was a huge gap. So I feel post COVID is a good era, because most of the things we have learned online. Now they are meeting online. If it was not COVID who taught us how to meet on Zoom and stuff, we won't be meeting, as per I know. Because this is something that COVID taught us. If COVID didn't come, nobody had learned Zoom. WhatsApp video call is not very friendly. and the network and the quality doesn't work. So this is a good factor about post COVID things. So what do you think? Like 3 into 3 should be your main focus, or you should like, there is two things. What I feel is, I am always focusing on dividing my portfolio like properly, like 2 into 2, 3 into 3. Everything I try to make it at a decent level. As I was 3 into 3, I'm sub 11 ish. So that is good for me. And 5 into 5, I'm sub 115 to sub 110. So that is also good for me. And you focus on only 3 into 3. So what do you think? Only focusing on 3 into 3 is good, or diversifying your portfolio is better?
Personally, for me, I would say only focusing on one event and getting really good at it is what I want to do. Because if I'm doing a bunch of events, I feel like my focus will be split between all of them, and I can't get as good as at all of them. But if I was able to be good at a bunch of events and really good at one event, then I'd do that. But as of now, I think I'm going to focus at becoming good at 3 by 3.
Okay, cool. So yeah, see, basically there is a difference between both the things. If you diversify your portfolio, you are good at everything. But Vrishab, according to Vrishab Bhaiya, he like that is the main logic, that he doesn't want to be good at all events. He want to be master at one. That is basically his mindset, that he has to be master at one 3 into 3, so that he can lead in that event. Like getting average solves in all event and getting the best out of everyone is better. But here also, it's not like you should leave everything, because every cube, especially bigger cubes, I will say, maybe this is a biased answer, but especially bigger cubes help you in look at it. Hmm. I will say that focus on 3 into 3, because I say many of my students that do bigger queues, but like if you are averaging 40 seconds, 30 seconds, then that is not the very correct time to focus on big queues. Because if you bring your average on 3 into 3, if you focus on 3 into 3 properly and bring your average down to somewhat sub 15 or something, or even below, then it will be much more helpful for you to do bigger queues, because 3 into 3 is the main part which affects your bigger queues. The bigger cube part you can practice, but 3 into 3 should you practice on a direct 3 into 3. If you don't practice a normal 3 into 3, then your 3 into 3 part will be messing up. If you take, suppose, 40 seconds for solving the edges and the centers on 4 into 4, and if you average 40 seconds on 3 into 3, and then you're taking 1 minute 20 seconds. Whereas if you average 10 seconds on 3 into 3 and you take 40 seconds on 4 into 4, it's 50 seconds. So that gap of 30 seconds can be reduced by practicing 3 into 3 first, and then you can try on bigger cubes, so that you get a little bit of more experience on how the pieces move and how you can improve your look at it. So that is a thing that he told correctly. Focus on one event at a time, be master at it, and focus on an event. Don't like just be an average for all. Be master in one, that will be helpful moreover. So what do you think, that algorithms are very important for F2L, or it is more of a practical knowledge? Like what I mean is simply learning algorithms for F2L is easy, or getting the concept and finding out ways how you can solve the F2L is easy.
So actually, obviously, in terms of starting out in F12, most people will be doing algorithm approach. But as you get better, as you get more comfortable with the idea of F12, most solves, if you notice, they'll just be you figuring out things and implementing your what you're visualizing in your mind into your solves. So I think it's not easy per se, but as you get better at it, uh, it becomes more natural to you.
Yes. So basically, I will say that algorithms for F2L is like too much. Like there are so many different F2L cases, and in the starting stage, at least, like for Vrishab Bhaiya and for me, that is not a big concept. Like learning algorithms, we can learn 2 or 3 in a day and something like that. We can try to do it, and we will be able to achieve. But the person who has came from beginners method now, who like in beginners method, harshly there are 2 to 3 algorithms and not more than that basically. And moreover the beginners method, but as soon as he switches to CFOP, and if we will tell him to learn the 13 last layer algorithms to look once and so many F12 algorithms, then he will be just like thinking to leave the thing. He won't be focusing at all. Instead, if he knows the concept, then it will be easier for him to find out ways. Like there are mostly three major categories, the three move inserts and stuff. And so that if he knows and how to set up every case into those three categories in the starting, that beginner F2L is what he or she can easily approach to, and that is what which will be helpful rather than learning so many algorithms in the starting. So that is what the concept is all about of F2L. Don't just focus on learning algorithms, and try to get the concepts, and later on you can focus on learning special cases which are not very easy to identify and you take more time in them. So that will be much more beneficial. So what do you think about the future of cubing all over the world and in India?
So I think that definitely over the past 2 years, people have been getting a lot faster, especially with COVID. People had a lot of practice improving and all. And especially people like Timon Kolashinsky and Leo Boromir, they've improved their averages to become the top in the world in just 2 years. So I think that definitely we're going to see lots of people getting faster, people getting sub 6 averages. And hopefully we see a lot more comps, we see a lot more organizers, volunteers, and I just hope that the queuing community grows.
Yes. So what are your hobbies other than cubing?
If I'm to be honest, I don't think I have that many hobbies other than cubing. I do play some sports. I play football, table tennis, occasionally cricket, but yeah, mainly cubing, mainly
Yeah.
cubing.
So yeah, basically cubing is what we all need as of now. So one thing that I have seen over the past period, that many people who are even very good at cubing, who get sub 8 averages, sub 7 point averages, low 7 averages, they mess up at comms or get worst averages because of nerves. I know this is a really good question for you because you have this experience, as we have already discussed about this. So how do you think that people can focus and control their nerves? Because see, nerves is something that even world record holders can have, even the beginners can have, and both can be controlled. So what do you think about nerves?
So I think the main thing with controlling nerves is rule one, stop caring about your solves. Because if you care about it, if you think, oh my god, this solve is so important, this solve is going to get me to next round, I won't make it to next round if I don't do this, then you're going to obviously do badly. But if you just calmly solve, if you think it's a normal solve at home, if you just calm down and you lower your blood pressure, you take a deep breath, whatever it is that gets you in the zone, that will make you solve well. Because in my experience, like the perfect example is in SSN Cube Open when Ashwin and I were solving in second round. We had to judge each other, and like until then we were practicing in the competitive waiting area together because we were sitting next to each other. So when you were judging each other, it just felt like it was a normal solve, and so that's when I performed my best average at that comp because it felt like any other solve, any other normal solve. So the point is, get it to feel normal, get it to feel natural, and don't stress too much about it. Not that I've implemented this very well in the past, but
Yeah.
yeah, I hope to do it better in the future.
Yeah. So that is what controlling nerves is all about. If you just focus on yourself, like be relaxed. Relaxed in the sense, don't be casual. And there is a big difference between being relaxed and being casual. I have seen many people, especially for the bigger cubes, when I teach also, people get casual in solving bigger cubes. They are like, it will surely take more time. So they are like moving so slow. I get so frustrated, like seeing them. Like the, I say the easiest way anybody can think of improving in cubing is turning faster. That is the easiest way, which anybody can think. Concepts like look ahead and slow turning, and these are later concepts, these are actual concepts which you help you to improve, but the basic concept is turning a little bit quicker rather than what you were doing previously. So that is what happens. And being relaxed is, don't get too much of tense that I have to do my best, I have to do my best, I have to give this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And also don't just keep so too much of expectation. If you are averaging sub 10, like this is what I feel, I may be wrong for this one for some people, but I feel if you're sub 10, then don't think that you can, like, don't keep an expectation for sub 9 in a competition or sub 10 even. Keep an expectation of getting sub 11 average, and if you get sub 11, you will be like, yeah, I expected it because it is a competition. Doing at a official competition and doing at home is a different thing. It's a vast difference. So if you do keep the expectation of sub 11, and if you get a sub 10 or sub 9, that is when you will feel happy that yeah, I achieved better than what I expected. If you're average, if you're averaging sub 10, if you will expect sub 9, you won't be getting sub 9 and you will be disappointed. So be relaxed. Main thing of cubing competitions is not winning. It is enjoying, meeting new cubers, meeting, making good friends, and getting the experience of how do people cube, what are their ways of cubing practice, and meeting people and enjoying. That is the basic concept of cubing competition rather than winning. Winning and losing is something that we focus on every other thing other than cubing. Because mostly in cubing, it's not winning, because I feel that in cubing competitions you don't have a one-on-one within somebody. Maybe in the world championships, and like in the worlds also, as I saw, there are 10 people who have qualified for the finals, and they are solving, and that is how the rank is get it got. So that is the normal way of the cube competitions. But in the Red Bull Championship, it is not official. I guess I don't think Red Bull Championships are official. No.
Yeah, yeah, not for sure.
Yeah. So in them, in that time, it is a one-on-one because that is an unofficial thing, and that is Red Bull who is organizing it, and it has its different concept. So be relaxed. All are your friends. Maybe sometime you will win, sometime you will lose. It's all something that is a part of cubing. So what do you think that can cubing be a full-time job for somebody, or can cubing be the part, like can cubing be the way of earning a regular income?
I think so far there have been some people who have taken cubing as a full-time job. Obviously, the people who work at cube stores and the people who, I think Felix took a 1 year break from college to do cubing seriously, but I don't think as of now it's as viable as a main career opportunity, but as it gets bigger, maybe there'll be more opportunities. Maybe prize money will become higher. Maybe there'll be more championships. So that gives more opportunities for people to take up cubing as a serious hobby. But the thing is that unless you have a steady salary with cubing instead of relying on prize money, it can't really become a sustainable career because anything could happen. You could lose a championship, and you can't keep worrying about that as your main source of income. So until someone pays you a steady amount for cubing and going to competitions, I don't think that cubing can be a sustainable mode of income unless it's something like cubing YouTube where you have big cubing YouTubers like Cubehead or JPerm. They probably make their living off of Cubehead. Definitely does do YouTube as his full-time job. So unless it's in that case, I don't think as of now speed cubing is a viable career.
Okay. So basically, what I feel in this point is, speed cubing does not bring you too much of things like U cubing. U cubing is not a speed cubing way. Speed cubing is when you solve the cube. That is what speed cubing. Through YouTube, if you are earning, that is something that YouTube is paying you, not cubing. You're just making videos with the help of cube. And other than YouTube, the various sources are Cube Store, and Cube Store, I guess it's not a very reliable option for everybody. A few people can be working in a Cube Store. Then again, it's a business. It's a basically they are selling toys. Like they are just focusing on cube and they are not focusing on speed cubing. And thirdly, coaching. Coaching is again not speed cubing. Basically, it's teaching, and you're teaching a cube. So basically, till now, for now, in the forcing feature, I doubt that there will be something very likely for speed cubing as a proper career and which can earn you living. But yeah, hopefully it should bring new things. And basically, what is your, like? What do you think? Why is cubing so less popular compared to other sports?
The main thing I think is there's a big entry barrier because people think, oh, it's too hard, I can't solve it. You need to be a genius to solve it. So people think that, and they give up without even starting. So, like the difference between cubing and something like chess is anyone can learn the rules of chess and anyone can do it. But it's the same way with cubing, but people don't think that. So as long as people think that it's going to be too hard to solve a cube, as long as people think, oh my god, 10 seconds, I can never do that, cubing can't grow as fast as the other sports. So as long as the cubing community makes an effort to show that cubing is something that can be done by anyone, anyone can learn how to do it. It's just like a sport like chess or any other such sport. And the cubing community will grow faster, and it could become as big as chess one day.
Yes. So basically, what is the mindset of people is these days that, like, not only these days, over the period as we have seen, and at any time, like, if you go in front of a non-cuber, the people who are cubers and watching this, I'm talking about them, for sure every cuber has felt this thing that whenever you solve a cube, suppose 10 seconds, 15 seconds, Vishavi I can solve it within 8 seconds, 7 seconds, something like that. So when you solve in front of people like that fast, and they will first reply how you can do that first, some will say it is a world record and stuff. So that is the wrong concept. That obviously I say 10 sub 10 is not a very easy thing to achieve. For sure it requires a very dedicated practice and very much of hard work, but at least learning a cube is not hard. Once you learn anything, chess also, until you learn it, anything, cycling also, when you were learning, you have fallen many times, and you have got up and you practice again. So when you learn anything and then you do it, that will be so easy. Like, I tell many of my students, in the starting class, in the first session, they will like, sir, I can only solve one side, I can solve no sides, it is very difficult, how you can do it that fast. In the fifth session, as or the last session, as they completed, sir, it was so easy, only two algorithms and a couple of steps to remember, and now I can do it easily. So that is what the vast difference is, and the mindset. If you focus, like, if people start focusing on cubing as a good thing, see, basically this might be a controversial thing which I will say, that cubing does not have a side effect. Like, there are no bad effects for cubing. Nowadays, see, gaming is not a wrong thing. Many people are earning a lot from gaming, and that is a good thing, that gaming is becoming popular in India, which was mostly a concept from yeah, like Western countries. Over the past few years, gaming has improved a lot in India, and many people are into it. But only getting into mobile is not gaming. Like, many children nowadays, like yesterday also, I went somewhere and I saw a child who was playing some game in the mobile, and his eyes was like blinking again and again, again and again, again and again, because of that effect from gaming. Hmm? Do gaming is not bad. Obviously, it's good. It has a bright future for now, but cubing has no bad effects. There is nothing like, if you will do a user, if you're solving a cube, you will get more interested, and there are so many benefits: concentration, calmness, and there is nothing offensive or nothing which can make you angry or something like that until you don't know how to solve it. Many people break their cube when they don't know how to solve it. But yeah, cubing is a thing which does not have any bad effects according to me, and it is very good for you also. And I feel now, when the world record is 3.47 seconds single, and I feel that the world record can be going to sub 3 as well, no doubt, because the way people are practicing and they are doing it, is more or less sure that in some years or some months people can break it. But if new people don't get it into Cuban now, then when they will be joining, at that time it will be very hard for them to break the records and stuff. Now only records are very hard to be broken. Max Park holds the 4 into 4 till 7 into 7 world record single and averages. So that is a huge thing. And OH single, I guess. Yeah, averages with Patrick Ponds. So that is what I mean. Like, most of the records are so difficult. 2 into 2 world record single 0.49 second. That is like huge. In the meanwhile, in the time which will be picking the cube, the solve is done. So that is what the difference is. If people get into cubing now, that is, there is a good scope that people can break new records. Like, the new people can break records instead of the old people breaking records again and again. So that is where cubing should be more popular, and people should be aware about cubing, because parents nowadays, like, cubing is just a toy for them, not a good hobby or passion for them. For me, cubing is a passion, and cube coaching is what I do as of now. As a class 10 student, or moving to class 11, you don't earn. Like, many people don't focus on earning and they are just studying. But when I have extra time and I put in to something which I know and I am good at, and then what is the harm if you're earning something that is making you more confident with money? So that is what I say. If people start giving their child just the cube and tell, like, just sit and rotate it and don't disturb me, that is not good. Instead, just like, not only coaching, if you don't want to spend money, no issues. There are so many videos on YouTube, English, Hindi, South Indian languages. There are so many different languages videos, and whichever language you're comfortable in, you can see and learn. So this is the correct time for getting in cubing. Don't do any late, or else you will be regretting that I should have started earlier so that I would have got more time and stuff. So I guess the discussion for now will be this long. It's already half an hour, and I would thank Rishabh a lot for helping me out for the first episode. And a lot of time changes were made, postponed again and again, and that was my fault. So I'm sorry for it, but I hope everybody who is watching enjoyed, and especially Rishabh, you also enjoyed, and surely we will be having more chats in the future. So, what is your view, Rishabh, on this etc. episode?
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. I watched all your episodes in the past, and yeah, this one was exciting too.
Yeah. So basically, for the viewers who are watching, for a good announcement that in this HC season 2, I will not only focusing on only Hindi or only English videos. Both will be combined according to who is the guest. Moreover, I will try to make English videos so that more engagement can be made and more people can get into and learn amazing things. Like today, we learned a lot of things from Vrishab. Also, in the past, we have learned many things from the previous guests also, and now more of the upcoming stars as the competitions are getting into form again. Just imagine, in the COVID period it was harshly a competition after so many months, and now in the month of June there are six competitions in the span of 3 weeks. From on 12th June there is in Pune, in 18th and 19th there is Hyderabad and Assam. On 25th and 26th there is in Mumbai, in Bangalore, and on 26th there is another coming in South India. So that is a huge thing for us after the COVID. So as people are getting into it, more of the new keywords, more of the upcoming stars will be our guests. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. Do like this video if you enjoyed, and do share with everybody you know, keywords, non-keywords, so that they can learn a lot of things that Bishop taught us today. And yeah, till then, bye. Meet you soon.